Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today we're going to check out an excellent whiskey that was on my hit list. Took a little bit of tracking down for me because it's not available everywhere. I've never seen it available in Wyoming. That is Ardbeg Uigeadail, and picked it up for $81.99 at the Total Wine in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on my travels back to the Midwest. Just reviewed the Wee Beastie, which is a 5-year. Does this have an age statement on it? I don't see an age statement on this particular one. Anywhere. Again, of course, I did not do any of the lookup on this stuff. It's just not really something that, all the other channels are doing it, so why me? But if you look back of every Islay box, there's always a really great story kind of denoting all the important information that you can find, or that you need to know, some of the backstory, some cool information, stuff like that. Boy, that's hard to read. 54.2% alcohol, so ABV. So 54 was at 108.4 proof. It's pretty good proof, pretty high proof. $81.99, so a little bit more expensive here. Like I said, it was on my hit list, so I had to track this one down. But extremely good. We're not going to let any of that go to waste. So as I said, I haven't said, but in the last video, this is the second video of this batch shoot that I'm doing that is an Islay. This will be the third video that I've done. I did the Deadwood whiskey, whatever that thing is, first. So this is the third video here. But I'm going to stop after this just because with the Islas, I want to give them all a fair shake, so I'm not doing Islay after Islay after Islay. I really want to be able to pick them apart for you, give you a very good review of them, detailed enough to help you figure out whether or not it's something you might be interested in. And so in order to do that, I need to space them out quite a bit. I've had some water in between, rinsed everything out really well. And even with that, I know I'm going to be accustomed to this smoke a bit more, which is going to bring forward all the sweet notes a lot more. But, even with that, I think you'll get a fair representation of what is going on here. So on the nose, here we go. Very light nose in the glass right now. Seaside brine and very sweet, almost an apple, which is very odd. That seaside brine just comes through heavily in the Laphroaig lines and in these Ardbegs. There's some kind of odd perfumey quality at the top of the nose. I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but it's a pleasant, sweet, perfumey note that I'm picking up. Almost like a rye whiskey would present that floral quality. And then it almost goes into like an overripe fruit of some sort, like a peach or a plum, or it's kind of that musky, almost sour note that's in there. So it's this weird, perfumey and sour going together. So sweet and sour. The smoke is so hidden on this. I'm not picking up hardly any peat at all. I do get a little bit of the actual peat earthiness, just a tinge of it at the very back end of it. And now going back to it, I get just a slightest waft of a smoke. But mostly this sweet with a touch of sour in there. Perfumey quality. And when I say these things, none of these are out of balance, none of them are dominating, and none of them are off-putting. They're all very nice notes that are wrapped together into this really, really gentle nose. And on the, like, when you inhale, that ethanol goes into your nasal cavity, and then that salt brine just kind of sits in the back of your throat at the very end of whatever you're smelling. It's just awesome. Oh, it's so good. So it's amazing. The peat smoke does not show up in the nose very much. It's all these sweet, light, almost a honey in there on the nose. And then, I mean, I wasn't getting anything, no matter how far I stuck my nose in that glass. Like I said, just the lightest wisp at one point, but it was there and gone. In the flavor profile, that peat smoke picks up and hits you, boom, like right off the gate. You get a sweet note, like a sweet fruit, and a smoke together, and that hits you and carries through the mid palate. You can pick up that higher ethanol burn kind of in the middle, but it's a pleasant burn, not a strong smacky in the face kind of a burn. It just lets you know that you're drinking a little higher proof, not a struggle at all. Kind of pushes through that sweet honey, and like it's almost an apple kind of towards the end of the palate, and then saltwater brine and smoke. That smoke is start to finish on there. A very peaty smoke, not a campfire smoke really. Just very, very nice. Once again, same thing. Get a little bit of campfire forward on that one, and then goes into a peat. The sweet note is there and gone in the beginning on the second sip. And then in the middle, you pick it back up again. And as the finish continues to linger, it dries out and goes salty. So you get a dry palate, not oily or clingy, really. That high the high proof ethanol is drying out that palate really quick and evaporating really quick after you sip it. It's really, really good. It's not as sweet as I remembered it being. Now it's been probably a month or two since I've actually tasted this, but it's sweet, and those sweet notes are kind of roller coastering. They come and they go and they come and they go, all depending on which sip you're on. And great exploratory whiskey. This is one, especially with that higher proof, that if you sit with it for a while, it's going to change over time. And change in a very pleasant way, especially once your palate adjusts and becomes acclimated to that peat smoke. Having said that, and I didn't want to say it without talking about the flavors first, because I was experiencing the flavors at the time, but right before I took that second sip, I nosed it again. A little bit more of that peat smoke came out in that second nosing. And now it's like burnt wood and sweet caramel is what I get on the nose. So like if you've ever drilled or cut with a saw too much and that wood starts to burn a little bit, if you've done that on oak, you'd know exactly the smell that I'm smelling. And that's a light end of that's the light end of the nose, and it's more heavy caramel in there. It's extremely nice. Last little sip here, see if anything changes. Oh, so that time it was that same caramel I was finding in the nose. Forward for the first 2 seconds, then peat smoke hitting. That drops off. Ethanol picks up with a little bit of burn, a little bit of spice. And then that carries through to a hint more smoke. Just a sweet, salty finish with a little ethanol drying out your tongue in there. Excellent whiskey. Love this one. Like I said, a little bit pricier, a little bit harder to find, but readily available in a lot of places, just not in Wyoming. $81.99 Total Wines in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So it's probably going to be hovering right around that $85 mark in most places. If it is like widely distributed, like a big chain store such as Total Wine or something like that, or a discount store of some sort. Your smaller shops, you're probably going to be picking this up probably closer to $100 or more. So worth every penny in my opinion, especially for the higher proof or the much higher proof. and it doesn't drink super hot. So really like that. It carries a lot of flavor with it. This is a great one to sit, end an evening with, just exploring and relaxing. It's a really great whiskey. So don't have too much more to say about that. In the next, I only got 2 more whiskeys to go, so I'm not going to review them in this batch, so I'll be wearing different clothes and stuff in the next one. I'm going to do the 2 Lagavulins I have. I have the Lagavulin Nick Offerman 11 year, the 2nd edition that is finished in the Guinness cask. Really good. And then the Lagavulin 8. So look forward to seeing those in the next couple of videos. And as always, thanks for watching. Drop a comment down below if you've ever had the Ardbeg Uigeadail or what you can find it for in your area. Also, please consider smashing that like button. That helps out with the algorithms a little bit on YouTube. Although, as I've always said, I'm trying to pull away from YouTube a little bit. Subscribe if you haven't already. And what else? Hit that notification bell. That's another thing that can help out somewhat. Check me out on BitChute and Minds. So now, having said those words, this video gets a little bit of criticism from YouTube, and the algorithms kind of suss that out. So that's probably part of the reason why the channel is not growing as well. But you know what? Thanks for everybody who is subscribing to this. I appreciate that everybody is subscribing and enjoying these videos. Check out some of the other videos I have going on. There's a lot of really good whiskeys out there. I highly encourage you to explore. I see that the majority of people, and I think the YouTube algorithm is feeding it out to people, are viewing the $10 and under whiskeys, the budget series. Unfortunately, a lot of those first videos I had are really poor quality. Not that these are super great, but they're definitely a step up in quality. And so if you see a video or one of my videos that is not so good quality, either, stick with it if it's a whiskey that you're really interested in. I know the quality sucks, the audio, the video, whatever is the shitty part of that. But, the information is still valid. And, a lot of my other videos are at least going to be this kind of quality, or some of them are actually better. So something to consider. Check out some of my other videos, and thanks for everybody who has done that already. LifeandWhiskey on BitChute, life_and_whiskey on Minds. Anyways, thanks for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Have yourselves a great day, and we'll catch you in the next video.